two friends, Mary and Pip, decided they were fed up with all the aches and pains associated with getting older and decided to do something about it. Their sport of choice, well, it's called HYROX.
This is HYROX, the fitness competition that has taken the world by storm.
Right, me and Gassy are a little bit nervous this morning because normally, as you know, if you're watching this, we do weight sessions, but we're going to do a bit of HYROX conditioning. Gassy's doing HYROX end of October. So me and Gassy have just been, well, Gassy has been putting this together. So Gass, do you want to talk through me and the listeners what we're doing and why?
All right, welcome. This is 30 minutes of HYROX conditioning, so a bit more of a top-up session. We have squeezed a little bit of running in, but most of my running work is coming elsewhere in the week at the moment. So this is just a bit of fun on how we would break up some of the HYROX moves and blend that into some kind of partner work as well, because that's the only way you can get through some stuff like this. So we've got a 10-minute AMRAP, a 10-minute AMRAP, and then again another 10-minute work block. So 30 minutes of total work. ABC, we've got ski, 500 meters. Now everything that we're going to do is going to be a you go, I go format. So Warbs' work will be my rest and vice versa. So we're starting off on the ski, 500 meters. We're going to break that up into two 250s. So while Warbs is doing his 250, I'll be resting, and then I'll do my 250, and that'll be that block done. We then got burpee broad jumps times 40 meters. So the gym, wall to wall, is 10 meters. So we've got 4 lengths of that. I'll do a length, Warb will do a length, I'll do a length, Warb will do a length. We then got front squats. Now, I'm a big fan. I think a lot of people go a little bit wrong with how they train for like HYROX. They kind of always keep it really movement specific. I think that's good. I think there's a level of skill which is really important to master. But I'm a big fan of actually just breaking down some of the exercises that we do in HYROX. So, for example here, the front squat times 10. That's going to be a relatively heavy weight. Well, for time anyway. So we're going to aim for that about 50 to 60 kilos. So that's going to be a lot heavier than any squat pattern that you're going to be doing in the HYROX event. This is going to be good for double leg strength, but also in that front rack position, it's going to replicate your wall ball throws, which is going to be quite good. On race day, if you're using pro weights, you're going to be using a 9 kilo med ball. If you're doing open weights, you're going to be using a 6 kilo med ball. So if we can work for a few rounds of 10 reps with a 60 kilo bar, all of a sudden that kind of ceiling for your strength and your capacity for that movement is going to increase. So we've got front squats, we're going to do 10 each, and then we're going to cycle back through. So 10 minutes on the clock, we're just going to keep going for as many rounds as we can. Second work block then, again, another 10-minute AMRAP. We've got ABC. This time we're going to go for rows. So on the row erg, that's going to be 500 meters. Again, similar to that, we can break that up into two 250s. We're then going into farmer carries times 80. Again, a similar thing to the front squats. I want this to be heavier than your race day weight, okay? So if you're in the pros, you're going to be using a 32 kilo kettlebell. Today, we're going to try and go nice and heavy on that. We're going to break that up into lengths of 20 meters. So back and 4, and then we'll swap. And then we're finally finishing up with some sled pushing then over 40 meters. So that's going to be as heavy as we can to race day. What was your quote, Wolves? That's a really good quote that you always go on about.
Hard training, easy combat. So that's why we're going to overload and go heavy on things, because as Gassy rightly said, I think you can just get in the routine of doing just burpees, just the competition weights, wall balls, the competition weight sleds, but actually it's sometimes good just to increase that ceiling, albeit it's at less volume, but increase that ceiling, so then when you go back down to a lighter weight, it can sometimes feel quite nice and easier, should I say. So that's why, yeah, hard training, easy combat.
And then finally, our last work block is going to be some compromised running. So we should be pretty tanked after all this, to be fair. We're going to go 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and we're just going to chase each other on this for 10 minutes. We're going to do that outside. It's a lovely day out, so we're going to get some fresh air, and we're going to finish up with some pretty hard running efforts for 30 seconds. But that's the session. This is going to be perfect. You don't have to be just training for a HYROX if you want to get this done. This is going to be a nice top-up if you need some conditioning in the week. Only 30 minutes, so yeah, let's get into it.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Because it's a short, sharp session, there's no benefit to kind of coasting with it because you can't get the volumes that you need to make the adaptation that you'd want. So if you're going short and sharp, kind of make sure you bump the heart rate up. We're probably both knocking on the door about 90% plus. Hard sets, earn the rest. We've got 2 minutes now between each work block, but go hard. Chase your partner, push them on. That's what it's all about.
I tell you what, out of all of it, front squats fucking done me.
It's almost feels like you're slowing down.
Absolutely done me.
It just like gets you slightly out of the rhythm. Oh.
Squats to 10,
Yeah.
just make my heart rate escalate like a bitch.
But imagine like we're doing those squats for 10 after a good bunch of work already.
Yeah.
If you came to do that then with a 9 kilo
Oh, I love
med
it.
ball, you just stick it.
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Girls with the nails done. The girls with the nails done. The girls with the nails done.
Oh, it's a rip.
I'm catching the bus home, fuck it.
Fucking leaving it. Fucking leaving it.
How'd you find the running block at the end?
Good.
Not bad,
Yeah, that was nice.
It's good to know you can finish on running, because that's obviously the hardest bit, do you know what I mean? I know that's
Yeah.
only, I was counting then, say it's like 40 there and back, you got 80 metres. We did that, I think was it 11 or 12?
Yeah.
So we're looking at 800 plus ones, we did about 850, you know? And,
After all
but
that.
it's at a good tempo, that'll be a good, and you've got to consider that's got a turn in it, so it means
Got a turn.
deceleration, another acceleration. That's what I find gets you on the up
Stop
and downs is
Slowing
it's
down.
not just a continuous run. The XL, decel and the turn. For me, like, we got to turn around and accelerate again. It takes it out of you, big time, you know?
We were saying earlier, like, if you're only doing something for half an hour, like I said in between, there's no point coasting with it. Grab a partner, make it hard, push each other. Those kind of workouts, they're so minging, but they're so fun with a partner because you can just
Yeah, dig in
keep
together.
pushing each other, making sure that you're holding a good standard. You always feel so good after them. Not right now, but
Yeah.
give me 20 minutes, I'll be on top of the world.
What's your heart rate say there? Can you get heart rate data there?
And 182.
182, nice.
Yeah, we were
so
up
you're
there.
you're at 90% there.
Yeah, we're up there.
So that's what you want really, gets that 90%.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, once you start doing kind of, it's nice because obviously you've got the partner, so you've got a tiny bit of rest, and it then just slightly creeps out of continuous, so there's a little bit more repeated effort. And that's so good for improving like your VO2 max.
Yeah.
That kind of top end anaerobic fitness, which is kind of the one that really drives the needle.
I think it's where some athletes might get it wrong. They might do that like 3 times a week. Personally, I don't think you can hit that 3 times a week. And if you want to have a quality strength regime on top of that as well, that's just going to be crushing yourself, you know. So that's probably something where, you know, you'd have that, which is like a top end bit of work. Then you might have like a longer run. Do you know what I mean? More like zone 2-y type work into there as well. If you were like 3-4 strengths a week, 3 of those a week, you're not gonna recover. You're not gonna get a whole lot of quality. So that's the sort of thing, like once, twice a week, maybe twice a week.
Twice max.
Max, yeah.
I've been doing one of those sessions a week just to kind of have a stimulus that really pushes me to the edge. But then otherwise, like, I think this is where maybe these HYROX coaches and stuff, they go a little bit too far towards HYROX. They're like, everything has to be HYROXy. Whereas like, I'd much rather, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a HYROX athlete by any means, but my personal philosophy around it is like, if I'm looking at improving that, I want a stimulus to a hard effort conditioning like that. Nail at least 3 good strength sessions because that's the foundation of everything. So all of the exercises that you do in HYROX outside of the running and including the running, that will benefit from having an increased strength ceiling. So like, that's always where my priority is. One of those sessions a week is plenty. Plus then like a 5 or 10K or some kind of running interval will be nice. But then that goes for athletes as well. Like, one of those conditionings is perfect.
Yeah, once a week max. On top of game
On top of
stimulus,
game
once a week max.
and training. Like, I think that's where
Yeah.
athletes go quite wrong with their fitness, is like they worry about doing the long aerobic stuff, whereas like if you're training twice a week with your club and playing on the weekend, you've ticked your aerobic boxes there. You just need an anaerobic top up, and you can do kind of stuff like that, or you can do like 10-minute intervals, but just hard effort anaerobic stuff is going to be that kind of missing piece to your puzzle.
We're done, aren't we?
We are so done.
See you next time.